The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, starting at verse 3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Yasharel does not know. My people do not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden, full of iniquity, wickedness, a seed of children of evildoers, children that are corrupters, not builders anymore, tearers of things down. No culture, no value system, no sense of self, no sense of purpose, just pure vanity and existence. Simplicity, a people in a giant stupor. They have forsaken Yahuah. They have provoked the Holy One of Yasharel into anger. And they have gone backwards like a backsliding heifer, as Hosea chapter 4 mentions. Verse 5. Why should we be stricken anymore, they ask. Will you revolt more and more? Yahuah says. He's saying, so will you continue to go against me and against my Torah more and more to appease your flesh, to appease your ideology, to appease, your wicked wisdom, your perverted wisdom, your cleverness, your foolish intellect that's just simply pride and nothing more. So you're a damn fool. He's talking to us as a collective group, not individual. See, it's some damn fools amongst you guys. He continues on in verse 5. He said, why should you be stricken anymore? So you haven't had enough abuse, Yasharel? So you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired yet, Yasharel? All of us. He's not talking about the 70-year-old and the 60-year-old. He's talking about even the 12-year-old, the 15-year-old, the 20. So you're not sick and tired? You 20-year-olds, you can't see what's going on with your parents? Don't you know that's going to be you in another 20 or 40 years if Yahuah was to tolerate this earth? Which we know better. 20 years from now, most of the people who hear my voice are going to be burning in hellfire. Not just Yasharel, but definitely Yasharel. But just to give you something to compare and contrast, so you 20-something years old, just look at your mama. Look at your wicked-ass grandparents, if you have any. That's where you're headed. Many of them serve Jesus, right? Look at Jesus. Look what Jesus did for them. Made them liars, profane, tell you that Christmas is all about Christ and all of this crap, these lies. Easter, Thanksgiving is about family. You know Thanksgiving is not about no damn family. Thanksgiving about eating turkey. And if old, lazy, slowful, foolish man watching football game, drinking beer. Just like the heathens created for you to do. Distraction. That's why he said the ox knows his owner, the ass his master's crib, but you don't know who you are. You got the heathens not dictating to you what is called celebration. But at the same time, you shake your fist at Yah's prophet and tell the prophet, who made you prophet? Well, Yahuah said, you know what? Your little wicked ass going to find out soon enough. Hang in there. You'll get your question answered. Just hang on in there. It ain't long for you. Watch. But he said our people are convoluted or polluted inside. Corrupters, evildoers, children of evildoers. What does that even mean? If you stop for a second and reflect upon it, brothers and sisters, that should be something. What does that even mean? Children, seed of evildoers. Who are these evildoers that are Israel's forefathers? And he ain't talking about the ancient ones. He ain't talking about Abraham. Not talking about Isaac. He's not talking about Jacob and Daniel. Not King David. He's talking about, local time, baby. Some of the dear family members sent me this clock just the other day, and and it was reflective of time, how time is running out. Again, I want to thank Sister Miranda, Sister Mariska, and my son that's given to me by Yahuah, Noah. But they said, we send it to you, Elder, because we know the clock is ticking and time is running out. But these are younger, generation talking like this. It's not these old hags. The ones who, you can't tell nothing. They think their job is to tell you something. I got something to tell you, Elder. No, you don't. I don't give a rat's ass about your opinion, sister. You ain't figured it out yet, brother. You ain't figured that out yet? Damn, stupid. Let's go on here. Hallelujah. Picking back up at verse 5. Say, why should you have been stricken? You're not tired of getting your behinds kicked, Yasharel? You're complaining about it. You're asking your daddy government when they going to do something about it, to give you reparations. You got on your knees and begged them for food stamps. For Medicare. Oh, I can't lose my Medicare. Oh, daddy. What if I get sick, daddy? Your government say, well, if you do good by me, I might maybe let you keep enough just to keep you alive. But you better not challenge me. You better vote for me. You better stay a goddamn Christian, or you better be a heathen, rebellious, Israelite keeper, Torah keeper, Israelite. So you can keep that Torah, but you better obey me. You better keep it conflated. You better serve me, and you better serve yourself. If you want me to serve you, you're going to serve me. And by doing that, you're going to be worried about your what? Yourself. I wrote this down, my dear brothers and sisters. And by the way, Shabbat Shalom. I wrote this down. Here's the attitude of many in Israel. We're currently in an environment where we can't afford to accommodate people. And yet, you want to know, can you bring your dogs? Let me say that again. We're currently in an environment that we can hardly feed the people. This is metaphoric, prophetic, for those of you who don't know what a prophet does. He said, we're saying, we got to get the righteous remnant together. We got just a few, just enough to make sure that we're going to be all right. And then you got these wicked ass old niggas over there talking about, can I bring my dog? What does that mean, Elder? That means no matter what you tell them, they can't get them out the goddamn way themselves. But Yahuah has a plan for them. And it's not a part of the righteous remnant either. Isaiah talks about the same Isaiah that I'm reading from right now, talks exactly about them. Both men and women. Let's keep it with some equity here. You got a bunch of old 60-something-year-old fools out there, your little wicked ass, you just as wicked as these females. These old ones who, if y'all wasn't coming back soon, they'd be in the grave anyway in the next 10 years. Pushing up daisies while they're over there telling, a signaling, elder about, what they're going to accept, what they're going to tolerate, if they're with us. You ain't going to be with us. You're not invited. So we're going to uninvite your ass, okay? You still on over there, do whatever you want to do, since you got to have it your way. Lying on Yahuah, saying, oh no, Yahuah, I love him. I'll do whatever he says. No, you won't. You're going to do whatever you want to do. Again, it's like again, the prophet is saying we have just enough to take care of the women, the children, the elderly, and you over there with your old ass asking about, can you bring your dog? And if you can't figure it out, then I guess you won't figure it out. But let's continue on here. That's a special message. That is a message. And when I said it like I meant it, and I said and again, I'm not just targeting them old niggas, but them old niggas are shameful, brothers and sisters. When this book says seed of evildoers, it's talking about them. It's talking about these children or their children, and some of them their children's children. Daddy ain't never dealt with the wickedness that's in his heart, and mama hasn't either. What did Ezekiel say? They come to hear the word. They want to celebrate the word, Brother Keith. Oh, hallelujah. And I'm not blaspheming. But you will say, okay, you mean it? Okay, I want you to give every damn thing you got to Elder DFG, all of that shit, and then I want you to do whatever he tells you to do. You good? Because that's the equivalency of what Joshua told Gad and Reuben and some of the others when they were going over into the promised land. He said, oh no, lead the women and children home, but y'all coming, every last one of you, and you're going to put your lives on the line just like us. You don't get to sit it out because you're comfortable. They were righteous remnant. They said, yes, sir, we'll do it. When those 36 men died, when Achan, the little wicked Israelite, again, who says, I'm going to do what I want to do, even though I'm with y'all, but I'm going to do what I want to do, got 36 men killed. I wonder if any of those 36 men were of the tribe of Gad or Reuben, or I think the other one was Manasseh. I wonder if any of those men died in under that particular judgment of Yahuah. What am I saying? They were willing to put their life down on the line for the truth. And they were following Joshua. Yahuah didn't say, Gad, ring, pick up the phone. Reuben, ring, pick up the phone. Y'all got a minute? I'm talking to you personally. Can you go with Joshua and them? Joshua and them. Them niggas be talking in the hood. Or the olive, the oliveness, that. What did we got to do with them? Can I have a coconut? No, he didn't talk to them. He told Joshua, he spoke to Joshua, and Joshua told them. And you know what they didn't do? They didn't question Joshua. They didn't say, well, Joshua, who made you king? Who made you prophet? Who made you the leader? They ain't say anything like that. They knew better. They remember what happened in the wilderness when they started questioning who put the man of Yahuah in charge. They had learned well. But in this generation, that wisdom is long forgotten. So that pride and arrogance, these seed of evildoers. They lie, say Yahuah's talking to them, like Yahuah changes. Yahuah didn't talk to Reuben. He didn't talk to Gad. Go read it. Go read Joshua chapter 1 and chapter 2. Go read it for yourself. When Joshua told him, we go and fight. And y'all coming with us. We don't care how happy you are where you've been. We don't care how comfortable you are where you are. You're still coming with us. But today in Israel, oh no, everybody got their own God. At least most. The wicked amongst us. What I mean is that they got some kind of pipeline to Jesus, but they want to say Yahuah now. Listen, Jesus on the main line. You remember that nigga song? Jesus, they say that song to each other. On the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh, tell him what you want. You got him on your main line. No, that's the devil, dumbass. You're in a stupor. Satan is talking to you. You're in a waltz with Satan. Because Yahuah don't behave outside of his nature like you do. But the dog's going to get your mind right. Not the dogs you want to bring over here, the dogs that's going to be sitting at your door waiting for you to open it. Or maybe jumping through your windows. Or maybe Yahuah will do what he did in the book of Joshua. He will just send some creature out of the ocean, and it will just come and unlock your windows and unlock your doors and let it all in on your ass. Because you got your plan. You can't be told nothing. You can't be corrected. You got your direct line. You like Trump. You got your red line phone. That only the number you have and the people who got the missiles. 3 o'clock in the morning. Right now it's 1 a.m. As I was resting, Yahuah put that on my mind. He said, you tell them. You tell their asses straight. Talking about all these little old wicked Israelite men and women. He said, you. And the only reason he identified them as old brothers and sisters because they're antiquated in their behavior. They're religious. And they're confusing religion with obedience. If your heart really was pure before Yahuah, you would never question authority. You would never be in rebellion. You would love correction. You would eat it up. You would embrace it. You would surround yourself with information as it relates to what does Yahuah say through his prophet to you. How am I doing? Like Brother Cameron always called and check in on. How I'm doing, Brother Willard. But they call him, how I'm doing, Elder. Sister Tammy, same way. How I'm doing, Elder. Sister Ao, same way. How am I doing? Sister Amara, same way. How am I doing? Am I learning? Did I understand it right? And there are others who ask questions because they really want to know. And then you got the freelancers out there, the outlaws out there. You go, there are outlaws out there. Outlaw just one who just does their own thing. They disregard the Torah. They just do their version of what they believe is right. They're morally right according to themselves. We talked about Wednesday night. They don't take this Torah, brothers and sisters, and look at it as a mirror. No, they look at this Torah as just, something else to do. Literally like that, something else to do. But their main focus is living their lives. However they want to live it. Even if it's a religious life. And again, confusing religion, customs, with submission. There was no submission, brothers and sisters, if it slapped them in the head with a baseball bat. Because the way they tell it, they have nothing to be repentant of. They live their lives. They how you say, cruising, baby. Right to hell. So he told me to tell you, and if I was saying, if it applies to you, then guess what? You heard it. He didn't say you would agree with the elder. He just said you go tell them. You go warn them. Say, no, there's not enough room in the camp for you and your dog, or you and your ways. That's the dog he's talking about. The ways you has never changed. You just elevate from religion to religion, from religion to religion, to religion to religion. And now you're trying to come amongst the truth with your religious ways. It's not going to work. Because see, Yah put an angel in that door. Remember when Balaam in the book of Numbers chapter 22, he was coming up that approach. Remember the angel stood there, and that angel had that sword in his hand? You can read about it in Numbers, I think it's Numbers 23. 22? Maybe 22. Number 22 and 23, both right. It's a continual story. And that angel was in the road, and that ass, who was a whole lot smarter than Mr. and Mrs. Smarty Pants, like Isaiah just said here, the ass knows his master, was standing right there with that sword in hand and said, I wish you come one more step, you little wicked little religious witch. If you were with us tonight, you know that Balaam was a witch, taught witchcraft at 15 years old. So a lot of y'all harboring little 15-year-old witches in your house. But that angel was right in that road and said, I wish you come one more step this way. And the dumb ass had to tell him, prophesy to him, well, you know, you see what I see? He looking around, I don't see none. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I know the way. I know the way. You know, I know Yahuah. That's how they, I know the way. I know where I'm going. Just be quiet. That ass say, okay, I'm going to be quiet. And your ass is going to be chopped up. Like some kind of wicked ass pagan chop suey. So when it says the seed of evildoers, brothers, I mean that these evildoers are right here in their parents and their grandparents. Just for the record, level set here. This book is true. And this book is talking about many of you out there. When that fire come down, and that ravaging, and that famine, and that the diseases, and all this other horrific, abhorrent stuff, you're going to get it. Get like a foot clean up the ass, you're going to get it. Because nobody can tell you nothing. Even when you say they can, I can be corrected. You are a liar. You know you are lying. Someone that's corrected not only accepted, they actually change their behavior. That's a person who can accept correction, brothers and sisters. They change their behavior. They don't stand 10 toes down on it. No, they actually surrender. They surrender. I mean, completely surrender. And when they come down to contrition, they cash in all the chips. I'll put it all in the bucket if that's what's called of me. And there's some wicked sins out there. There's some of them old evildoers. That's what Yahweh is requiring of you. You're going to have to give it all away. Not just the part you want to store away. You're going to have to give it all away. And you know you ain't going to do it. Do it as Yahuah tell me. He just told you. But I'm going to tell you something else. He said you're not going to do it. And he said even if you chose to, you're going to give it to where Yahuah says you're going to give it, not to where you're going to give it. What do you think about that? Well, how would I know, Elder? Send me an email. If you like to ask when you're doing clever, just email me, text me. I'll do nothing. But let's continue on. Let's get back to the teaching. That was a prophetic message to those who it applies to. And it's not just to Israel. This is what did Jeremiah 5 says, brothers and sisters, 20, when he said, a fool have no eyes to see. Fool, no ears. You know what that means? It's just like Isaiah saying right here. They won't consider. They won't listen. They think that somehow Yahuah has changed his nature. He talked to Joshua when he talked to Israel. He talked to Moses when he talked to Israel. He talked to Elijah when he talked to Israel. He talked to Elijah when he talked to Israel. He talked to Jeremiah when he talked to Israel. But somehow or another, he going to change now and talk to them. Totally disregarding what Yahuah said, listen to my prophet. If I have a word, I'm going to tell it to him and you listen to him. And then they'll come back, well, who made you? That's your little clever little evil heart. See, that's you. But there's nothing new there. Your forefathers did that. Moses, who made you king? Moses, who made you prophet? We're just as important as you are, Moses. Y'all remember that? Go read in Numbers 16. So when you say something so asinine and foolish, thinking that you being clever, you being intelligent, you being, you got a revelation, you got insight. Look at you. Wow. Oh, Good job, little nigga. White nigga, yellow nigga, red nigga, brown nigga. Give yourself a applause. Because you talking loud, but you ain't saying nothing. That's been said. Your little dumb ass just the latest, to find out about it. But I'm not finished. Bet you don't love me now. Verse 5. Verse 5. He said, why should you be stricken anymore? He said, what's your problem? You're not tired yet of getting a foot up your butt? He said, you continue to revolt more and more. You continue to resist direction more and more. Your whole head is sick. He said, your heart is faint. When you go over to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28, one of the things that Yahuah said he's going to strike the rebellious among us with, brothers and sisters. You know what he said? With madness. A stupor. What is a stupor? It means you can't get out of your own goddamn way if your life depended on it. If your soul depended, you can't change if your soul depended upon you repenting, you can't do it. You're in a stupor. Madness. Deuteronomy 28:28 says that's exactly what's going to happen to you. Enoch talked about it too. One precept. Enoch 97:16 said you wouldn't listen to the wise. In other words, someone smarter than your ass. He said you wouldn't listen to the wise. So now Yahuwah is going to mark you for damnation. Who was the wise? Enoch, the prophets. Those are the ones who Yahuwah was talking to, because he don't change for you. But in your wisdom, you just say, well, I'm going to despise the prophet. I'm going to just say the prophet ain't a prophet. Well, okay. What does that mean? Be able to you everything, but before Yahuwah, that means absolutely, this means that you mark your ass for damnation. And that's good for you. That's what you deserve. When your ass is burning down in hell, just remember, you had a chance. But it's not done yet. Let's go on. He said the whole head is sick. The whole heart is a coward's heart. You see, a coward heart is a heart that lacks courage, that refuses to be obedient. A coward will never submit to the proper authority. Not a coward. A coward will just undermine direction. They would just plot against the learning, plot against the teachers. They would plot against what is good, and they would focus and embrace what is evil. See, that's what cowards do. See, a righteous man or woman, they're bold, brothers and sisters. They come clean. They don't bring their baggage with them. They come willing and ready to do what's asked of them. Brother Lance said, I know you don't mind, my dear brother. I hope you don't. And, since I'm the big brother and you're the little brother. But he sent a notice to me when he was giving an offering. And one of the things he said that any time that you don't compensate a teacher that's teaching, he said, you are a thief. And he quoted the 8th commandment. But Israel has become so wicked and so selfish, they won't even consider that. But again, if they were studying with us, and some of you were 2 weeks ago, and Sirach 38 said that what? The physician is set aside to do the work of Yahuwah, while everybody else do their jobs, and make sure that the physician has the things that he needs to do the work of Yahuwah. You can read it for yourself. He said, if you did that, then you would be healed, then you would be healthy, then your job, your business would flourish. Your cup, like David said, would run over. But in your rebellion, you're so envy and so jealous and think that maybe the elder might have just a little bit more than you. You sit upon your flat, fat ass and you do nothing but run your stupid mouth. And everything you said has been written down. It's going to come back against you. So, Brother Lance, if I had my hat on, I'd tip my hat to you. Thank you for that wisdom and your support. But I thought I brought that up because, again, it resonates. It makes sense. Because it ties into what we're teaching. The brother is listening, is what I'm saying. How many of you are actually listening? Not, just showing up. And many of you, the first thing come out your mouth is, I can't. I ain't do nothing. Like that movie, Hurricane Carter. The hurricane, when Reuben Hurricane Carter was a little boy, and he was a little wicked little demon devil little boy, and the police officer, even though he was a pig and a dog, and all of, the heathens are wicked, so ain't nobody trying to put no lipstick on a pig and call it something other than the pig and the dog they are. But he's a little badass, which is his bad. He was into folly too as a little kid. And then when they were arresting him, he said, I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. That's so many in Israel. I can't do nothing. That's going to be your life. You're going to die in that state. Hope you're happy. You'll do nothing state. Life and death is the power of the tongue. That's not what Solomon told us? Book of Proverbs 18 and 21. You said it. You made that bed, you lay in it. But for the rest of us, we're going to do something. Some of us, the few of us, we're going to continue to do something. But he goes on to say, what? He said, the whole head is sick, the heart is faint. Sick means mentally, in a mental stupor. He said, from the sole of their foot even to the head, there is no logic in them. None. He's talking about Yasharel, brothers and sisters. This is prophetic. This is not something that you could just overlook and marginalize and run away from and somehow think it's not going to chase your ass down like a hound dog chasing after a rabbit. Oh no, it's going to chase you down. And just like the heathen, you're going to get eaten by a heathen. If you want to act like a heathen, you're going to get eaten by them heathens. We'll get there in today's teachings. Hang tough. It's going to be a rough ride. He pretty much said he in a stupor. He said no soundness, no true understanding. It's just all self-interpretation. Private interpretation. This is what I see. This is what I think. No collectiveness. No unification according to this book. No outliers, outlaws. She out there on her own doing what she want to do. And she blaming Yahuah, saying Yahuah told her to do it. She's a liar. He told you to do nothing. You are a liar. You are a liar. And a liar is as bad as a thief. And you're going to go to hell with the thievery. Like Brother Lance say. You sure you ain't no thief? Because obviously you're a liar when you start saying Yahuah told you something and that's something he didn't tell me. He said they'll receive. I'm going to reveal it to my servant, the prophet. And you can go down that little road that I'm not all the hell you want. Then what prophet you have, then go listen to him. Because he's going to lead you straight to hell. At least this one will turn out where hell is, even though you still going to go jump in that fight. But at least I'll tell you, hey, the one you love, he ain't going to say a damn thing but what you want to hear. And his ass going to burn. And just like I said a couple of Shabbats ago, you the wolf in the sheep clothing, not him. He's just a dumb, greedy dog. And like Sam Cooke said, y'all having a party, a religious party. Not in the church, in your mind. But he said that something's wrong with them mentally. He said, but their wounds and their bruises and their putrefying sores, they have not been closed. He said they won't deal with their sin. He said many in Israel won't deal with their folly, their wickedness, their rebellion. They're revolting against Yahuah. So they don't want to deal with that. And they think because Yahuah hasn't judged them already, that somehow or another, They have made the cut. You know, they're on the team now, Brother Keith. They're not on the team. They think they're on the team. Brother Davis, they ain't on the team. You are on the team, Brother Davis. Their asses, on the other hand, you know, over on the sideline, cheering. And then when you get hit there, woo. Or when you hit somebody, you're like, damn. But they ain't taking no hits and they ain't getting no hits. They ain't giving none and they're not taking none. That's them. But on the sideline, making all that noise. He said, but they stench before. He said they're a stench before Yahuah. All they're praising Yahuah say, no, you stink, sister. You stink, brother. You're a foul odor unto me. Why is it whenever I tell you, thus says Yahuah, through my prophet, unless you agree with it, you have a problem with it. But you say that's not revolting. How is it not revolting? Maybe you ought to look up the word revolt. Obviously you don't know the definition. Obviously you can't know the definition of it. It said you're going to revolt more and more and more. And you said, I'm not rebellious. Do you know what the word rebellious means? Do you know what one who is revolting? Revolt means you going against authority. And many of in Israel, the only time they want to go against authority, brothers and sisters, when it come down to Yah's prophet and the teaching of his word. But see, when they come down there to serving those heathens, or they don't revolt at all. They find ways to pay them goddamn taxes. They find ways to pay that goddamn insurance. They find ways to pay that mortgage. They find ways to pay this. Find ways to pay that. Oh, hell yeah, they'll get 3 jobs. But when it comes down to standing and supporting the work of Yahuah, I ain't got nothing. Oh, brother, you just need to understand my situation. I don't understand your situation. I don't give a rat's ass about your situation. And nor does Yahuah. Don't you know poverty is a curse, dum-dum? It's not a blessing. That's religious talk. This book tells us, Proverbs 10 and 22, the blessing of Elohim make a man rich, adds no sorrow with it. David said in Psalms 37 and 25, he said, I was a young man, and now I'm an old man, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children begging for bread. Means that he had. David said in Psalm 23, what he said, surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. But right before he said that, he said what? Yahuah prepared for me a table in the presence of my enemies. In other words, a feast. And he said, I have so much, I have overflow. Everybody with me is being blessed. It's like Abraham when we studied it out in Jasher chapter 16. Everybody that was with Abraham were blessed because they were what? With Abraham. They were following Abraham. They wasn't over there saying, no, I got my own thing. You know, me and my sweet, lying upon Yahuah, try to treat him like he's Jesus. Yahuah has a structure. Yahuah said, you go this way. But the rebellious, they said, no, I'm going to go my own way. But even the ox or ass said, nah, I'm going to do what my master say. And my master say, obey the prophet. And you don't get to pick who the prophet is. The prophet will always despise. The prophets will always hate it. The prophet will always call into question. This is why we ended up with a king. Go read 1 Samuel chapter 8. When the people started complaining to Samuel. Oh, Samuel, we want a king because we don't trust the prophets no more. So you ain't saying nothing new, questioning Yah's prophet. You're just a young fool doing what old fools did before your young foolish ass started doing it. Just to help you out a little bit, since you want to question things. It's there. We want a king. It was Samuel said, well, why? I'm here. Yahuah's talking to me. I'm talking to y'all. What's the problem here? Well, your son. Yahuah told Sam, he said, Sam, don't fret it. He said, tell him though. He said, don't keep your mouth shut. He said, you go tell him. He said, but at the end of the day, they ain't rejecting you, Samuel. When they come after you, Samuel, they coming after me. And I was telling you the same thing, little brothers and sisters, old brothers and sisters. When you coming after this elder, you coming after Yahuah. So go for it. But I know one damn thing. In the end, your ass is going to burn in hell, and I'm not. You see, I can get up early and stay up late and do what I'm told. I can do it 24/7. How much time you spend for Yahuah? And then where's your work? Okay, you spend all the time. Can you tell us what your work? Show us how you support this work. Tell us about it. We're listening. We're listening. Sister Jackson, let's listen. Let's see how this is going to work out. Just kind of, let me, because I don't see you nowhere. I don't see you in nothing. Because you won't even comment. You won't even thumb up a video. You damn sure, won't use your resources to help with this way. Just kind of tell us what you're doing. Shit. I ain't wasting more time waiting. Because you ain't doing nothing. And you know you're not going to do nothing. You're in revolt. You're in rebellion. But let's go on. He says this. Verse 6. Verse 7. Verse 6. He said, you're purifying, you're purgifying, so you stink. And so you have not been closed. A stench that's not been closed up. Neither bound up. Neither, being healed. Yahuah said, I'm not going to do nothing for you. So you want to do whatever you want to do, Israel? I'm not doing anything for you. You do it. You fix your own problems. You answer your own goddamn prayers. Because they're damned anyway. Because Yahuah said, I don't hear your prayers. Proverbs 28:9. So you don't obey my Torah. I don't hear your prayers. And a part of obeying my Torah is my prophet telling you to do whatever it is I told him to tell you to do. And he don't need your goddamn permission. How about that? Yahuah tells me, and then I come back and I tell Yahshua. But you can't handle that confidence. You can't handle that self-assurance, can you? Why? Because you think so little of yourself. The heathens, they don't complain about John Hagee. The heathens don't complain about Joseph Prince. The heathens don't complain about Joyce Myers. The heathens don't, complain about Kenny Copeland. But there's old wicked-ass Israel. Or wicked-ass Judah. You shake your fist at your prophets, your leaders. You ain't my leader, I know. You don't have no leader. You're outlaw. You're dumber than an ass, and you're dumber than an ox. The book said it, not me. Don't get mad at me. Well, I'm saying it because I'm saying what the book says. So you're right. Nobody can tell you what to do. Because if you know the nature of an ox and you know the nature of an ass, they are really animals who are synonymous with stubbornness. Stubbornness. And he said men in Israel were less than an ox or an ass. He said even an ox and ass put you to shame. As stubborn as they are, he said, you're worse. Moses talked about it. Let's go. Come on, coming back here. Let's go over to Exodus chapter 32. Let's see what Moses had to say. Let's see what come on. Exodus chapter 32. I ain't no prophet. Let me see you go there. How long it took you. Exodus chapter 32. And Yahuah said, verse 9, and Yahuah said unto Moshe, I have seen this people, and behold, they are a stiff-necked people. Therefore let me alone that my anger may wax hot against them, and that I may set them all on fire. And then I'm going to make you, Moses, a great nation. This is how Yahuah feels about your rebellious, who made you somebody. And I can take you over to Numbers chapter 16, but I kind of think you kind of get, the drift here. This rebellion, this hard-headed, this stiff-necked behavior within Yahshua. What he said, he said they revolt more and more and more. He said, instead of them under the circumstances, brothers and sisters, that are coming, these horrible times that are coming, he said, you think that they would be repentant, and not only understanding repentance, they would do this. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 18. Come on, I ain't no prophet. Come on, keep up. You're falling behind. Let's go on. He says this, Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. And Yahuah will raise up unto you a prophet. You ain't going to raise him up. Yahuah said, he's going to raise me up. And how will you know? He says, and from the midst of you, like your brothers, he'll look just like you, be like you, come from where you came from. And like unto me, unto him, I want you to listen to him. And in case you missed it, he comes right down to verse 18 and said, I will raise them up a prophet from amongst their brethren, not you, him, like unto you, and I will put my words in his mouth. That's how I know. And you've been listening to the words in my mouth for the last 46 minutes, and you still, dumbass, can't get it because you dumber than a goddamn ox, and you're stupid than a damn ass. Damn. But there is hope for some of us. Hallelujah, praise you. There is. I know y'all like, damn. Yeah, yes, hope. There's hope. I didn't say it was hopeless. But many, yeah, but not for all of us. There's hope for some of us, Sister Cole, Brother Piani. There's hope. Sister, those of y'all who's standing with the elder. There's hope for some of us. Sister Marsha Cara. Sister Trenda, Simpson, Brother Martin. There's hope. Billups, a few others. A few others. He goes on to say, but he said what? They're stink. Verse 7. He said, your whole country is desolate. You know what that means? This whole nation, wherever we are, he said, they are now, how you say, desert. They're empty. They have nothing left. He said they're just waste. It's like the dung. He said you just live among, pig shit. Putrid, stink. Some of our people, brothers and sisters, running around, they talking about 3-eye Atlas. 3-eye Atlas what? Don't you know there's a firmament over this earth? They got you thinking about, but they said 3-eye Atlas. They did, the other day I heard their wicked asses, these sorcerers that many of you are listening to. This is what they said. They said this thing was 200 million miles away. 100 million miles farther away than the sun. That's, first of all, they're lying because the sun ain't 100 million miles away. The sun is under the firmament. You might want to go read Genesis chapter 1 and 2, brothers and sisters. But again, your science is who you believe. Your warlocks and your sorcerers and your divinators, you choose to believe them. And that's exactly why you're going right where they're going, straight to hell. But hey, my job is just to warn you. But 200 million miles away. And now you would think that you would have enough sense to say, well, what the hell? If it just, for shits and giggles, I guess, they're like that, Brother Sharif. Let's just say, Brother Sharif, let's just say just for shits and giggles. Why would you care? about something that's 200 million miles away. And they said, if it was a coming, it wasn't near close to Earth. What is not, because it's not true. It's a lie. That's why they tell you, but it'll never come close to Earth, because they're lying. Same lie they told about the big boom. That's what killed the dinosaurs. That's a goddamn lie. The flood killed the dinosaurs. The Great Flood, Noah's Day. They injured birds. They were having sex with animals, and these animals started to have sex with other animals, and they started to make these big, giant, what we call dinosaurs. It's like breeding a dog. You breed a shepherd with a bigger dog, and breed that dog with a bigger dog, and before you know it, you got some big old giant ass dog shoulder high. But see, that's too simple, for you so smarty pants science folk. You're so caught up in witchcraft and sorcery. Your common sense just went right on out the damn door. You're so smart, but yet they telling you what to do. The heathens that you claim, you better than. And then if that wasn't enough, this whole thing with Epstein, that whole crap. They shut down the whole government, did all this folly, foolishness so they can scrub all that stuff clean. They got all the filth out. Let's get all these Epstein, whatever they got, tapes, letters, whatever it is. They're going to scrub it all clean. And then they're going to use ChatGPT, AI, Sam Altman, that shit. And then they're going to reproduce it in Epstein's words, because that's what ChatGPT can do. I'm sorry, I had to bust your bubbles a little something. Y'all. I can't wait to see them letters. Y'all stupid ass doll over there saying, oh, see Trump, that wicked two-legged whoremongering devil over there. See, I told y'all. No, you stupid dumbass niggas following straight with. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all stupid. And you could tell him I said it. And you, Geno Jennings, am I right? Just as dumb and stupid as he is, too. Right hand, left hand, both of them working for the other team. Trump is a liar. I love Trump. Trump is telling the truth. I hate Trump. Two tits on the same goddamn cow, brothers and sisters. You're getting played. You're a sucker. You're a fool. Wasting time. How the elder likes to say, you're pissing in the wind, calling it rain. But you won't listen. To the wise, you will not listen. So they over there scrubbing it clean. So now Trump gonna sign off of it. After all, they got all this shit out of it. And then you little wicked ass, two-legged, non-human, so-called human, heathen, non-melanated devils, you're gonna run over there and say, see, we good, see. No, niggas, you niggas just clever. You a bunch of warlocks, you a bunch of witches, and you're just a bunch of two-legged beasts. Brute beasts, not human, not anything near human. You're damn scorched earth, predator, heathen, murderous, killing, robbing, thieving dogs. And you know it. Your own history validates it. Hell, you're so goddamn stupid. You left pictures of your goddamn wickedness. You dumbasses. Please, we're not impressed with you and your kind. We're impressed with your wickedness. We believe that you can do that, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you something. There's another group of Israelites over here that you haven't had a chance to be with, who Yahuah runs with. And so when your little posses and your madmen and y'all attacking these little wicked old Israelite nigger women you can't tell nothing, these old nigger Israelite nigger men, you can't tell them. Y'all over there attacking them, and they over there, Master, oh Master, please Master. While they setting their asses on fire. There's going to be some other ones over here. Some of them, you may confuse this with us being old. You're going to get something. You're going to find out the hard way. We will fight you to the death. We will fight you to the death. And y'all ass don't like to die. See, leave it to you niggas and white niggas you talking about now. Your ass want to live forever. You scared to die. What you scared of? Oh, I know, because you know your ass is going to burn in hell. Especially you Esau. But you come over, I said it. We'll see, right? We'll see what's going to happen. Because y'all got a couple of hard-hitting Israelites walking with this elder. And we're going to show you the hard way. We don't play. And we'll die for the cause. How about that? So y'all taught these little nigga Israelites, you know, your folk over there talking about praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, right? And y'all taught these little docile little nigga men and women, these black ones, you know what I'm saying? You know, poor mouthing. Y'all can get in trouble. Like John, I got in good troubles. I'm like, what the hell you mean troubles? Trouble. That fool had some kind of speech impairment. I'm not knocking the speech impairment. I'm just saying he did. But he was a fool. So what kind of trouble you got in, John Lewis, congressman? I got in good trouble. What the hell is good trouble? I let the white man crack me on my head and I still call him brother. Damn. Seriously, John? Yeah, but just something. I'm, you know, nigga sound like mush mouth on Fat Albert and the Cosby Kid. And that's so many of these old niggas. You much mouth. Good trouble. When he come to your ass, you gonna wish you knew how to give him some bad trouble. See, this is wartime, brothers and sisters. And that's what you're making, many of you are making mistakes. So you think all is, you know, is good. See, I wrote this down, brother. And I knew Yahuah was going to tell me how I can use this and praise y'all. Ooh, hallelujah. That's what he said here. You know the reason why so many of the people you know, brothers and sisters, people I know, some of you listening, you know why your ass ain't doing nothing? Or why their ass is not doing anything? I'm talking about for preparing. Look at this. Say people feel that they have no reason to listen because of the comfort of life. And they don't even know it's a goddamn trap. They're so focused on staying comfortable that they're rebelling against an earth that's desolate, that's falling apart. As the book says, desolate. But they so concerned with, I want to be comfortable. I just want to, you know, raise my children, and I want to go, you know, to the games, and I want to go to the park, and I want to go on my picnic, and I want to, you know, make a lot of money on my job, and I want to get me a new house and another car, and a few more holes if you die, of course, you know, but that's something different. I guess you know. See, because they so busy learning the ways of the heathens, embracing the heathen ways, they more heathen than the heathens now. That's why they don't listen. That's why they sit there and do absolutely nothing. Like a how you say, a putrefying corpse, stench before Yahuah. Doing absolutely nothing because they're comfortable. Got me a nice house. Got me a big house. I got $60,000 in my savings account. That's it. That's what you're bragging about? So you over there bragging about network when y'all about to burn this whole goddamn place down, and you over there talking about your network. You're, again, madness. The Beatles had a song, Money Can't Buy You Love. I'm telling you, money ain't going to save you from hell. Money is a means to the end, but money ain't going to keep you from the judgment either at the end. You make money using that money, you know, to produce and to reproduce the work of Yahuah, then sitting your ass over there bragging about it. But nobody can tell you nothing because you just so goddamn smart. But you'll know there's a prophet You would know. I ain't said that. Everything I have is for y'all. Well, why you still got it? You said everything you have is for us. Then tell me why you still have it. Why you still possess it. Because seems to me, if it was for us, you would have taken this, ham and salt, we go in there, and you would have put it over here and said, okay, it's yours. Oh, I forgot. It's ours, but it come with you. So that means stranger tax. That sound about right? So whose is it again? Just want to help you out there a little bit. Worst lies you can lie. The worst lies you can tell is the lie you tell yourself. We talked about that this Wednesday night in the T.I.E lesson. You know, witchcraft, the witch that you looking out the window for is looking in your window saying, I see a witch. You're looking out the window, brother, saying, I'm looking for witches out there, Elder. Which one? And the witches out there looking in the window say, I see one right there. You. But see, when you refuse to self-assess, you'll always think it's somebody else is the problem. See, this is the job of the prophet to tell you no. You remember when Nathan came to King David after that situation with him and Uriah? When Nathan confronted David, what he told David? He said, David, you're the one. David was like, go get that man, send him in here. I'm going to get him. He did what? What? Oh, what? No, he didn't. They said, oh, yes, he did. They like, come on, Nate, you playing around. They said, I ain't playing. David said, well, I'll be God. Go get that nigga, bring him in here right now. Go get him, Nathan. Nathan looked at David and said, David, you the one. Here's what's going on with many of y'all out there. You're so busy looking at everybody else, but you ain't looking at your own wicked ass. That's your problem. And somebody needs to tell you, because you don't listen to anybody, but somebody still needs to tell you. You've gotten so accustomed to not listening to anybody, people are scared to tell you something because they know your ass is going to go outright. They know you're going to start slamming doors and throwing shit around, so they don't tell you nothing anymore other than what you want to hear. So some of them are hoping that this elder, this prophet tells you. They're probably sitting right in the other room like saying, he ain't lying. They ain't going to hold their head up. They're going to have to hold it down. He ain't lying. Because I'm not. Yahuah said, again, shall it be a secret and not reveal it to my servant the prophet? Go read. I know you don't want no process. I got it. But you got one whether your ass like it or not. And I'm so glad he didn't, buy me via committee. See, I wasn't voted in, so I can't be voted out. This is a calling. And I don't need your approval. Sorry. Now go fuck off. Let's continue on here. Verse 8. Matter of fact, verse 7. So the country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. It's coming. He said, what? Your land, strangers, take everything out of it. Right in front of your face. And if you try to do something, you get overthrown by them. They put the police on your ass. You try to defend it, try to stand against it. They send the police, FBI, ICE now, IRS. So that's what the strangers is going to do to you, Israel. Because you rebelled against me, because you're revolting against the truth. See, this book is real. Real time. This is not a fairy tale. So you're so used to witches and you warlocks out there, you're so used to fairy tales that you believe Santa Claus, and then you stop believing Santa Claus. Then you believe in Thanksgiving about turkeys, and then you stop believing that it was about turkeys. And now you say it's about slaughter, but we don't keep it. We don't think about slaughter. I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. What's the difference between I was talking about whores, and what's the difference between a young whore and an old whore? I said age. Or what's the difference between a young fool and an old fool, or old fool and a young fool? You guessed it, age. That's it. Fool's still a fool. You could be a young, dumbass fool, too. 15-year-old dumbass fool. Balaam was a witch, 15 years old warlock. He was telling them about war games and stuff. You see these different movies, or even in real life, these generals, they have this big old laid out, table. They have ships and, militaries, and they just looking at, how the army's working together and, and how they can win and where the enemy is. If you ever gone over to Stone Mountain, Georgia, there's a display there. I've been there before. And they do the same thing with the Confederate Army and the Union Army. And so these generals, they kind of using this board to kind of see how to move around on this table, right? Playing war games. Well, Balaam taught them that. See, if you were with us, you would know that. Balaam taught them that. And what Balaam was telling those kings, as we taught about it the other night, Wednesday night, he was telling those kings, they asked him, the 15 years old witch. Many of you got him in your house. 15-year-old witch. But they're clever. They're doing all kind of sneaky shit. And the question is why you don't see it, and if you do see it, then how did it get there? That's a big problem. But when you look at this stuff, it's saying here, strategically, they're looking around at and this is what they're doing, and they're playing these war games. And when Balaam told him, he said, from where I can see, you better leave Israel alone. The king of Africa, king of Rome, the king of the Edomites, he talked about Seppo, the grandson of Esau in the caves. Told you them devils was up there sleeping with these Neanderthals. That's why they're not our brothers anymore. So all you idiots out there talking about, well, isn't Esau and Jacob's brother? Not that one. That one been, he been, how you say, blended out, washed out. Esau ain't Esau no more. Paul ain't Paul. Go ask Sealy. Isn't that it? No, Esau ain't Esau no more. He's something else. That's why y'all say you're going to burn them to a crisp. But he was up there in them caves chasing oxen. What is ox doing in the cave? Unless he lived in the caves. Ox don't run in no caves. Goats may be in the mountain, but not no damn ox. See, the truth is hidden right in plain sight, but you're not going to see it because you don't want to listen to the prophet. Many of you. And that's why it's going to be the death of you. But come on, let's go on. But not everybody. I know some of y'all like, okay, y'all. No, don't okay me. I ain't trying to hear no okay shit. I'm telling you what it is. You deal with it. Or not. I don't care about your damn personal feelings. Souls are dying out here. So I'm supposed to be thinking about, well, I hope you don't get offended. I don't care nothing about your damn feelings. If you don't love Yahuah, like David said, you ain't got to look over here for no love. Well, David said, I hate them that hate you, Yahuah, with a perfect heart. They are my enemies. How many of you can say that? That the people in your family, you hate them. Because they serve someone other than Yahuah. Because they're Christians. How many of you can say it? I didn't say vex them and do something to them. I said you can say you hate them. The book said David was a man after Yahuwah's own heart. Who is your heart after? He's no respected person. So David's heart was after Yahuah. And he said he hates those who hate Yahuah. With a perfect hatred. He said, they are my enemies. So do you hate the Christian? Even if it's your mom or your daddy, do you hate them? With a perfect hatred? Because you claim to be righteous. You claim to be blessed. No, you're going to go to hell. Somebody got to say it. I'm telling you, you're going to hell. With gasoline draws on. You can't love what Yahuah hates. Is that not what he told Jehoshaphat? 2 Chronicles chapter 19. He said, Jehoshaphat. He sent the prophet. He said, Jehoshaphat, Tell him. The prophet, go tell him. Why do you love them that hate me? Why do you love them who do evil? Why are you running with them, hanging out with them, socializing with them? Tell me. Let's go to Psalms 139. We're coming back. We're going to let Yahuah lead in this. Psalms 139, verse 20. Oh, prophet over there, that ain't no prophet. I hope you there now. How long will it take you to get there? Come on. Psalm 139. Come on, I'll give you 5 seconds. I know you can get there in 5 seconds since you know more than me. 5 seconds, let's go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. You're there now, right? Yeah, right. I'm not going to wait on you. What did David say? For they speak against you wickedly, talking about Yahuah, and your enemies take your name in vain. I can do whatever I want to do. Who are you to tell me what to do? Who made you prophet? That's taking his name in vain. Because you take his Torah and kick it out the door, then you are a blasphemer. Because he said this is the way he's going to set it up. This is how he operates. And he didn't ask for your damn opinion. So I'm not asking for it either. But I'll remind you that every little wicked word that come out your little slimy mouth is going to be held against your ass. Just like the heathens do in their court of law. But look what it says here. Do I hate them, O Yahuah, that hate you? Am I not grieved with those that rise up against you, Yahuah? What does he mean by that? Those who are in revolt. What else could he mean, rising up against Yahuah? Rising up against his prophet. Rising up against his Torah. That's what he's talking about here, brothers and sisters. In case you didn't know, I would think you would have known this, but maybe some of you didn't know what he's talking about here. So he's talking about many in Yasharel. Damn sure to all those, heathens who are not Israel. Except for, again, he said a very small remnant of them, too. All of them have risen up against the truth. That's why they pushed all this religion on you. Why you made you house niggas and field niggas and every other kind of nigga, useful niggas. The niggas of division, niggas of hating those because they're older than you, niggas that's hating those because they're younger than you, niggas that's hating you because they're a different gender of you. Turn them in all kind of niggas. Niggas because you got more money than the rest. Niggas because you got less money than those who have more money than you. Niggas because your skin is lighter than him. Niggas because your skin is darker than her. Niggas because you got nappy hair. Niggas because you got straight hair. All useful niggas. So, do I hate them, O Yahuah, that hate you? He said, I am agreed with those who rise up against you. How many of you feel that way? Because that's what Christianity is doing. That's what they do. They rise up against Yahuah's Torah, his truth. And they try to conflate it by saying, oh, no, we don't have to do. We don't have to do. We can't do. We not expect to do because Jesus, some demon spirit, says so. Them niggas don't know no Jesus. Your mama don't know no Jesus. Your daddy don't know no damn Jesus. That's all in their head, madness. They don't know. I know they told you they did. They do not know. And if they did know, he damn sure don't do nothing for them. You know that. I know that. Seed of evildoers, children of evildoers. I haven't forgotten about it. Believe it or not, I'm still in the book of Isaiah chapter 1. Still right there. Brother Lance, can a prophet do this? He can't. But let's continue. What did David say? I hate them with a perfect hatred. All these that some of you riding and dying with. Coming up with all your little clever justifications of doing it. And all you're doing is digging a deeper and deeper grave for yourself. And the day gonna come, you're gonna say, I should have listened to Elder. I should have listened to Yahuah's prophet. I shouldn't have got caught up in my, you know what gets us in trouble, brothers and sisters? Brother Menendez and I talk about these things all the time. You know what gets us in trouble? Just compromising about, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, you're right. See, that right there gets your ass in trouble more times than you can ever believe. Because you think because you acknowledge it that somehow or another you're absolved from it. Or you think because you acknowledged it that somehow mercy and grace is yours. No, it isn't. The book of the Wisdom of Solomon, we're going to get there in a moment. It talks about you with that mentality. So you think that because Yahuah hasn't killed you today that he don't have a death sentence waiting for you tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow. So those, I know, them, that's the ass. That's when he says the ass knows his owner, the ox knows his master, but my people won't consider, that's them. So they're not considering anything. They just, I know, I got it, them. All right, I will, but they don't ever do it. They procrastinate. This book speaks against procrastination. This book says that if you have something in your hands to do, you do it with all day. You do it quick. You don't hold back. You don't wait on it. You don't reflect on it. You don't think about it. I'm going to get you later, elder. No, you're not, nigga. You might be dead later. What are you talking about? David said, search me and you will know my heart. Try me. He said, my fruit backed me up. And he said, by the way, if there be any wickedness in me, then I want you to lead me in your ways, Yahuah. Not my ways. Kind of remind me of what I said earlier. Got just enough for everybody else, but you saying, can I bring my dog? No, you can't bring your dog. And by the way, you ain't invited either anymore. Because you don't get it. That's Yahuah's word to you. Elder, what you trying to say? Okay, I'm going to say it slow. Yahuah told me to tell you, you not invited anymore to the redemption and the restoration because he no longer is servicing you with mercy and grace because he's sick and tired of you, old nigga. Let's go on here. Verse 8. And the daughter of Zion. Back to the book of Isaiah. Chapter 1. Daughters of Zion. Always coming back to you. Somehow or another. Always come back to you, sisters. That's why I tell you, young sisters, don't get caught up with these old sisters out there talking about what they ain't going to do and all that stuff. Look at them. They're pitiful. They're miserable. I ain't talking about all the old sisters. There's some righteous remnant ones. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the ones who want to dictate to, everybody what they're going to do or not going to do. I'm talking about them. The ones in revolt. I'm not talking about all the older sisters. I've already named a couple of them. Beautiful sisters. Pure, in my opinion, good-hearted sisters. Give you literally whatever they have. They'll sell their car and say, here, you can take that too. And this ain't about no goddamn money. This is about sacrifice. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to release for the work of Yahuah? That's what this is about. All of our ancestors had that mentality, the righteous ones. Judah put her life on the line for the people. Esther put her life on the line for the people. Abigail put her life on the line for the people. That means gave up everything for the people, not for themselves, for the people. Abraham did it. Daniel did it too. Before you start talking about something else. David did it. Elijah definitely did it. Jezebel was chasing him all over the damn place trying to kill him for doing it. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, prison for doing it. So what price it is that is too high for you to pay? Some of you only walk with these little heathen relatives of yours, so you know you ain't gonna pay no price. Let's go on. He says here, but the daughters of Zion is left in a cottage in a vineyard as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, and she's about to get besieged. See, I'll say this to you, my daughters and sisters, and I've said this to you more than one time. And I say this to you because I love you and I care about you. I said it to you before. All of you out there talking about you by yourself and you good with it, you are making a mistake. You are making a mistake. You're the only women on this earth say shit like that. All these other women know they need their men. But this book said, those who take that attitude say you're going to be besieged in the city, wherever you are. You're going to get trapped in there. He said, except you who had left us a very small remnant. He said, what, we should be at Sodom? You know what happened with Sodom? Fire came down and destroyed everybody in that damn city, that old city. And you should have been like Gomorrah. It's all those 5 cities. You read about that in the book of Joshua 18, 19. Genesis, I think, 16. Y'all know the story. Most of you know. If you know anything about the book, you know them stories. Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot, his wife turned into a pillar of salt, daughters, getting slaughtered out in the street, men getting raped in the streets out there, people getting cracked in the head and robbed. It's like it is all over this flat earth today. Yahuah said the only reason he hadn't burned this thing down before because of a very small few of us. And I'm not because you Israel, you're talking about the very small few of us who are putting this work in, who's standing up and being a part of this work. Every bit of it, every minute counts for us. Every thought that we have, every afterthought that we have is what can I do for Yah's people to better or strengthen them for the war to come. To invoke Yahuwah's mercy and grace upon us when the killing starts. And it's coming. That shofar you hear back there, it's a battle cry. That rain is destruction. You know anything about rain, what rain does, blood does. You know what I'm talking about. Destroy everything in its path. It's a reminder. Verse 10 says this, hear you the word of Yahuah, you men and women on this wicked flat earth. So you rulers, you so-called leaders. Well, they are leaders, they're just leading the blind. It's like Isaiah 53, 7, 8, 9 say, blind being led like blind sheep to the slaughter, Judah. No, it ain't about no goddamn Jesus, even though you want to believe that folly and foolishness, because you believe in devils. So what can I tell you? Believe what you want to believe. Still a lie. David ain't never referenced no goddamn Jesus. You could try to pretend like he was referencing him in Psalms here and Psalms there, all the hell you want. David would have never been no goddamn blasphemer. David served Yahuah. He said it all the time. You want to conflate it because the heathen put slip little in stuff. Then First Maccabees chapter 348 said the heathen would slip little things inside the Torah to throw us off. And that's why Yahuah said, yeah, but I'm going to send a prophet like you, Elder DFG, so you can reveal the truth to my people so they're not destroyed for the cleverness of the enemy. But many of you don't want to hear that because you think you're too important to hear it. After all, you don't trust no man, but you trust every man. You don't trust no man, you said. Then I heard you say, but what about paying my taxes? I thought you didn't trust no man. I thought you didn't care about what no man thought. It's obviously you're a liar. You do. You're walking contradiction. You're between two opinions. It's only when Yahuah asks you to do something is when you got your questions. He didn't tell you what to do. You just show up and you do it. Because you're scared of them. What they're going to take from you. And then you want to try to criticize us when we say, I don't give a damn what they take. Y'all can replace it. Including some of y'all wicked asses. Y'all think you're going to get somebody better than you. Hallelujah. We'll miss you when you're gone, but I guarantee we'll get over your ass. Give us a minute. We're going to wipe away those tears. What that wicked ass Paul Morton say? He's going to wipe all your tears away. Well, that's true, that part. His ass is the devil, but the words he spoke, that's true. See, where we're going, it's going to be joy, Sister Cole. Happiness, peace, prosperity. No more suffering, no more tears. That's going to be left to these wicked ones right here. With their wicked selves. Being wicked right here. Like somehow or another, they're going to change overnight. It's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. You can say whatever you want to say. Whatever you are is wherever you are. Wherever you are goes wherever you be. You know what I'm saying? You can take the hoe out the hoe out, but you can't take the hoe out the hoe. Unless you be repentant and no whore no more, then that's totally different. That's a whole nother situation there. Who can redeem anybody? But you better believe there's going to be some contrition. You better believe there's going to be some submission. And they will be more than willing to be told what to do. And you can call it control. You can call it manipulated. They're going to tell you, kiss my ass. I'm doing what Elder says. We ended the study of the night, and I said just that. But when I tell these people, go screw themselves with it, I tell you what to believe. Them damn wicked devils ain't doing a goddamn thing. When you were out there with them, living out there, partying with them, going to church on Sundays or Saturday, whenever as you were going to church, if you were going at all, which different without its distinction. I'm not trying to say something there. But you know that they never told you nothing. But then when you decided, to come out of that, brother, and take a righteous stand, now everybody got something to say. Like Sister A.O. said, they say I'm crazy. But notice that's just a far from crazy. That's just done more in 10 years of her life than most of these old niggas did in 50 years of their life. I don't know how they define it crazy. But that's how they're going to try to project on us, brothers and sisters. But that's part of the sorcery, projecting on you. That's witchcraft, projecting how they feel on you. And then most of you, because you don't have the right spirit inside you, because you compromise yourself, when they start talking, you start questioning things. I wonder maybe. I told a good, dear sister of mine, just read, I say, sister, whenever they come out with you shit, you rebuke their ass and tell them, leave you alone. Tell them you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear nothing about it. Rebuke them. And if you happen to say something about the elder, you tell them, if you put the elder's name in your mouth one more time, I'm going to try to slap the taste out of it. Now, I ain't talking about physically touching nobody. I'm just saying put their ass in check. So Yahuah said, don't touch us or nothing. You say nothing about his prophets. So you come tell me nothing. I ain't asking you nothing about that damn heathen and them heathens you run with. So you tell me nothing about him. Period. See, that's righteous indignation, brothers and sisters. And say the righteous is bold as a lion. That's what righteousness looks like. They don't suffer their leaders to be insulted and disrespected. You got fools out here right now will die for Donald Trump like that. You go around him and say something about Donald Trump, you're going to be in a fight. But don't get it twisted. If you say something about Harris or Obama, it's the same thing. Will kill, fight for them to the death. Soldiers live their life for them. For God and country, they say. But yet you let them attack your leader. And you say, well, yeah, because all right. Couldn't be me. You attack one of my brothers and sisters. Even though there's a hierarchy, and I'm at the top of the food chain in Yahuah's hierarchy. Some over 1,000, some over 100. We know it, 50, 10, then his prophet. But let somebody attack one of you and you with me. You'll see what happened real fast. See if I won't defend you. See, I'm different like that. I'm cut from a different cloth. You touch one of these sheep that with me, you're going to have to touch me. I'm like David. I wish you would put your hands on Yahuah's anointing. But it takes a pure heart to feel like this. It takes a heart of courage, a heart that can't be, bought off, paid off, talked out of. You can't be between two opinions. You can't be a sellout, cheap trash. To be like me. You have to be willing to be able to change your goddamn mind to be like me. Because Yahuah, that's his nature too. He can be repentant. He'll change, but not for your ass, not for the wicked. The book said many times Yahuah repented of it. Repented of it means he just reconsidered it. That's why the book said, consider your way. He said the ass will not. He said the ass is obedient, the ox is obedient, but my people won't consider. See, ties right back in. Hagar talks about considering your ways. Chapter 1, right? 5 through 7, 5 through 8 say the same thing. But again, he said they won't consider. No matter how much you tell them, they're not going to consider because they don't want to be wrong. That's the problem. And because they don't want to be wrong, they don't want you to tell them what to do. Or what they must do, which means tell them what to do. So they go into what? Revolt. Maybe that should be the title of this video. Israel loves to be in revolt. But for the very few remnant, of course, we know better. We've learned better. We did our contrition. Some of us, we had to knock on our ass for years. Then Yahuah brought us back up. Still bringing us up, still teaching us. We're still growing. But we did our contrition. We didn't make up excuses. We didn't hide behind people and hide behind things. See, we didn't take and spin things and say, no, this is what Yahuah wants for me. You're a liar. That ain't what he wants for you. Now if it goes against that Torah, you are a liar. But then again, the wicked come out their mama's vaginas telling lies. So what can we say on that? But I ain't do nothing. That's your ass. That's them. That's their identification card. I didn't do nothing. You write it right across their little chest. You know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? Take this little thing. Take this. It's right there. Sticky note. And my dear sister sent me this. See that little thing right here? I want to mess it up, but this is what it says right here. See that? I didn't do nothing. That should be your name. Your name tag right there. Because you never accept responsibility. You're never accountable. That's Israel. Rebellion. Revolt. But you did do something. And you will have something done to you, according to this book. You'll be fried alive. And why? Now we're going to get into the deeper waters. Y'all ready? Tell you what. Stop for a moment. Take yourself a break. When you come back, thumb up the message, and we're going to continue. Because that's what I'm about to do. All right? So let me do my thumb up. Me and my son Noah got our thumb up. Okay, we did our part. Okay, hallelujah. Now I hope you did yours. Hallelujah. So let's pick on back up. Now we talked about this rebellion going on in Yahuah. Yahuah is warning us. He sent, see everything I said up to this point, brothers and sisters, do you realize that if you are listening and your heart is sincere and your heart is pure, you could have repented, or you could repent. And see, there's some of you probably did. You probably stopped and said, you know what, Elder is right. Let me do better. I know I can do better than what I've been doing. But see, most of them, you're not going to do it. And I'm going to tell you why you're not going to do it. Come over here. Let's go follow me over to the wisdom of Solomon. This is exactly what's happening to many of you. And I say this to you out of trust me, concern. I say it to you out of concern because you might be confusing Yah's mercy and grace with your righteousness, that somehow or another you're blessed. You know, I was sitting there thinking a moment ago in reflection, like, when I told you to take a break, I took a break. You probably couldn't tell, but I did. It was like 45 seconds. But I was thinking about Brother Tony Goins, and I was thinking about Brother Starks, Brother Elmer, something, because these are men who help with this work. And I try not to forget them because they're very consistent and very, very, very graceful in their behavior. You can tell that they are putting their best foot forward, just like some of the other men and women I've already mentioned. Not talking about the here and there's, every now and then. Oh yeah, oh shit, I forgot about it. Now you talking about your ass. I haven't forgotten about you, but somehow you can forget about me, right? Okay, whatever. But let's go on here. This is where it gets really tough. This is right here, as the old saying, where the rubber meets the road, brothers and sisters. This is why so many of our people, instead of accepting Yah's true grace and mercy through repentance, contrition, submission, and then in Yah's season, as he said in Isaiah 40:31, those that wait upon Yahuah, they shall renew their strength. So in Yah's season, Yah would have brought you back up by now. But you ain't coming up. You're just going to be the same old person going around and around in circles. Just like our people in the wilderness, 40 years. That's many of our brothers and sisters. Oh yeah, you still got stuff. Your shoes didn't wear out. Your pants didn't wear out. Your food didn't wear out. You still got that, all that stuff. But your ass is getting worn out. They just got older. Nothing changed. It just got older. And some were under the illusion that Yahuwah's word wasn't true and they were going to get into the promised land. But that's the lie they told themselves. Only 2 got in. That was older than 20, as Yah said. He prophesied it. Moses told them too. See, all of y'all going to get destroyed. All y'all getting left right here for this rebellious attitude because y'all won't listen to nobody. You damn sure won't listen to me. We read that already in the book of Exodus chapter 32. Moses said these people are stiff-hearted. Later on, he called them a rebellious people. That's why he ended up, hitting the rock when he should have spoke to the rock, because he let the people frustrate him. So what he did, Yahuah told him to speak to the rock. Aaron standing right there, supposed to be helping him, doing absolutely nothing. What kind of help or no help? You helping, but you ain't helping. You there, but you ain't doing nothing. That's Aaron. That's that Aaron spirit that's strong inside of Yahshua. But Yahuwah tells Moses, when you go there, speak to the rock. Moses mad at the people because they constantly complaining and moaning and groaning, never satisfied. So what did Moses do? He hits the rock. And what Yahuwah does is say, okay then, Moses, since you let them frustrate you and got off of purpose listening to them, you ain't going over there either. And Aaron, by the way, because you didn't do your goddamn job by stopping him or reminding him, standing up and really supporting him, not by just showing up. Get your ass in gear and do something, Aaron. For real, for real. Stop being compromised, Aaron. One minute you're over here, Aaron, then we see you over there, Aaron. Where are you, Aaron? Which one are these are you? Who are you, Aaron? Are you the Aaron that's standing with Moses? Or are you Aaron that's standing with your people, these heathens? Which Aaron are you, Aaron? Yahuah is watching. They got a bunch of Aarons out there. So Aaron got cut off. And many of you Aaron compromisers, you're going to get cut off too when you least expect it. Because you're not committed. You're committed in theory. You like the idea of it. You don't want to go to hell. This walk ain't not about not going to hell. This walk is about being blessed and prosperous and being in service to the work of Yahuah. It's got a goddamn thing to do with not going to hell. Hell is already established. Hell already is in play, and everybody going to hell is already marked. Your ass going. This ain't about avoiding hell. This is about establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth. If you can't do it here, you're not going to do it there is what it's saying. If you can't take the necessary correction here, you're never ever going to be over there to be corrected because everybody over there accepted correction right here. Are you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? You got to listen. I know you think you're a badass dude, a badass, broad or whatever. I'm going to call you the right B word. I'm going to call you a badass broad, not a badass, the other B word. But you're not that bad. You just think you that bad. You see, when that judgment comes, you hear that word, depart from me, you're going to have a big problem with that. Trust me. Shame and contempt, you go, Daniel chapter 12 and 2. You're going to hear it. And you ain't getting out of it. Your name ain't West, and you ain't getting out of that mess. Even your name is West, your ass ain't getting out of that mess. Because you compromised. You are a compromised individual. Because you stuck on yourself means you stuck on stupid. Solomon says a way that seems right to a man, but that way is going to lead to your death. You stuck on stupid. You. We're supposed to be stuck on obedience. This Torah. What Yah says from the mouth of his prophet. That's what you're supposed to be stuck on. But you're in rebellion. Nobody going to tell you nothing. The only people on this earth nobody can tell nothing to. Every other nation on this earth cooperates. That's why they have a country. That's why they have a people. That's why they have a nation. Who are you again? I'm Israel. Okay, and what? Show me how you follow orders, because all these other nations follow orders. Show me how you invest in the country. So all these other nations, they invest in their country. Where's your investment in Yahuah's work? Where is it? What are you doing? Why don't you show up on Wednesday nights in the studies? Okay, I don't like it till you drag it out too long. Okay, you and somebody else study on Wednesday night that maybe ain't dragging it out and you like what they say? Or you, surely that's what you are then, right? I mean, we wouldn't catch you at home playing Xbox or PlayStation or watching the NBA or Wednesday night whole or idle something, housewives. Surely you wouldn't be doing that, right? Again, the worst deception you can tell yourself is the lies you tell yourself. See, that makes you a witch. And witches are unisex. They come in both sides. Saul was a witch. That's why he went to a witch. How can two walk together except they agree? Men witches, female witches. A witch is always going to go find somebody to be on their side. Now, some of these